It's officially the 50th episode of me taking you down memory lane, and since I introduced you all to the mystical wonders of VHS in the first episode, it's finally time to discuss a new format, DVD.
This is DVD.
Yeah, what is this shiny disc of sorcery? Well, I don't think I really need to explain it. I mean, everyone's had at least a few DVDs in their lives, right? DVDs first came out in 1996, the same year I was commercially released, but I'd say they didn't become that widespread until at least the early 2000s. At the time, getting movies on DVD could be expensive. Not just for the discs, but those bulky DVD players cost a fortune back then, and usually it was a lot cheaper to just pick stuff up on video instead. They actually had to advertise DVDs on videotapes just to promote the new format, which is a bit of a paradox. How can you make something new look great on an old outdated format? By showing a lot of things exploding for no apparent reason.
The sound is so incredibly clear, you can hear a pin drop.
I have to say, I was never really hooked by any of this. No matter how much they talked up the advanced picture and explosive sound, I always preferred the simple convenience of just popping in a tape and watching something. The quality might not be as good, but at least you get all that weird fun stuff that only VHS was capable of. It felt more intimate somehow. But when I got my first PlayStation 2 in 2003, everything changed, because this baby was capable of playing not only games, but also DVDs. For a lot of people, this lowered the expensive barrier to entry for the new format, and before long, I was exploring the wonders of Disney DVD menus and lousy games you had to play with your remote. Oh joy! But as DVDs gradually lowered in price, some people just started giving them out for free. You almost couldn't pick up a magazine without some kind of cheap promo DVD falling out from the pages. Movies, TV shows, it was ridiculous. I actually have a whole box of freebie DVDs that I've just amassed over the years. It's crazy. One day this thing's gonna blow. There are so many DVDs in this box, I could talk about almost anything, but I'd say I'm the most nostalgic for these, the Fox Kids DVDs. I've talked a bit about Fox Kids before. It was a kids TV channel during the 90s and early 2000s that eventually turned into Jetix.
It's a more extreme excitement with Fox Kids!
Now, Fox Kids was stuck somewhere near the bottom of the kids' TV channel hierarchy. Basically, if there was nothing good on Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon, then you had to watch Fox Kids. And if there was nothing good on Fox Kids, then you had to watch Trouble. Ugh, don't even ask. These DVDs came out in 2004, around the time Jetix started as a programming block on Fox Kids, before it eventually took over the whole channel in 2005. It was a co-promotion with certain newspapers, so you had to cut out a voucher from the paper and take it all the way down to your local Woolworths to get the free DVD. For people who grew up during this time, tears of nostalgia are just leaking from their eyes right now.
Express delivery.
I never got any of these DVDs personally, but my grandparents would pick them up all the time for me, and there's a whole bunch of different shows here. Some of them I've never even seen, but today, that's all about to change, so get yourself ready for a big freebie DVD review. First up is Totally Spies. I didn't grow up watching this. It's basically about three girls who are top secret super spies, kind of like the Powerpuff Girls, only in high school with less crazy superpowers. Well, this definitely feels like a girls' show. Just get a load of this bubblegum pop theme. We get 2 episodes here. The show stars 3 top secret agents called Sam, Clover, and Alex, who somehow managed to squeeze being spies in between doing yoga and squealing like little girls. This is your usual cliche high school setting. The girls are completely obsessed with the important things in life, like dating hunky boys and wearing trendy new outfits. Like Char.
This is totally bogus. I need at least another hour to make one of them fall in love with me.
So basically, everything I hated at that age back then. These are pretty vapid characters, but honestly, I think that's kind of the point. It's almost like a parody of pointless cliquey high school drama, which makes it pretty funny.
Team Sickle? Oh my gosh, I love them! They're our favorite band this week!
The girls even have an evil rival called Mandy, a selfish spoiled brat who always wants to get even with them.
I think it's cool that you two can walk around with last year's hairstyles and still act secure.
Yeah, I think we all knew this girl in school. Each episode has the girls taking on some kind of secret mission from this butler guy, who drags them into a secret lair whenever he feels like it.
Whoop would like you girls to go undercover as presidents of the Teen Sickle fan club.
This time the girls have to protect their favourite boy band from getting kidnapped by evil bad guys. At least they put some effort into making this boy band completely sympathetic and not just a bunch of brainless morons.
I bruise easily!
like a fragile peach when I mishandle.
What's up with the boys in this show? They're all just pathetic, whimpering babies. The girls try to help the boy band, but every time one of them gets captured, they're replaced by exact copies that mimic their every move.
I think someone's playing a little trick on you girls. I'm fine.
It turns out the bad guys are using some kind of face-swapping device so they can take over the band and steal their popularity away.
Once we perform at the Unity concert, nothing will be able to stop us.
Yes, that's the perfect evil plot for such futuristic technology. Sort of on the same level as the Recess movie, isn't it?
No, please! My manager spent a fortune getting my face to look like this.
Look, this kind of thing has been done before, and it doesn't end well. But the girls manage to save the day by kicking some serious butt, and even get their revenge on Mandy by throwing her in the pool. If only it really were this simple in high school, eh? Each of these DVDs also has a promo for the show. This one's a bit like the intro to a James Bond movie. This would have been a bit more effective compared to that Barbie Girl intro they did use, wouldn't it? The second episode sees the girls trying to solve the mystery of a missing soap opera actor who was recently kidnapped for the serious crime of not wearing an eye patch properly.
You got me a part on Days of Our Spies? Jared, this is my big break!
This time the girls have to go undercover on the set of the show, and they even get a nice little Tykes car to drive around in as well. They figure out the culprit is the show's biggest fan, who thinks the show is real, and since she wants her favourite character all to herself, she ties him up in the basement and hooks him up to some kind of mental torture device.
I'll be Mrs. Ace Roxon.
I'm not even going to question this woman's disturbing psyche. The demented fan captures the girls and subjects them to the old James Bond treatment, just so she can go back to the set and start blasting up the place with a laser gun. What kind of sick, twisted psycho is this? Where do you even get a giant laser gun from? Can you just pick one up off the shelf? Fortunately, the girls save the day, and they learn that some fans should never get access to a TV.
Now that's entertainment.
So yeah, I'd say I like this show. I mean, it's so wacky, it's hilarious. I'm not surprised the high school setting put me off as a kid, but seeing it in hindsight, it's a pretty amusing take on how dumb and brainless that period of life is, mixed in with some fun spy action and whatever this episode was supposed to be. Our next DVD is Shaman King. This one's an anime, so I'm already way out of my depth here. There used to be a lot of this kind of thing on Fox Kids back then, but I never paid that much attention to it. I like my stupid funny cartoons instead, what can I say? Even the promo on the DVD can't figure out how to explain this show. The guy can't even pronounce what channel it's on.
A brand new series, Shaman King, in Jetix on Fox Kids.
Jetix? Don't you mean Jetix? You know, you could at least get the name right before you swallow the whole channel. So this one starts off with a kid called Shorty, appropriate name, who goes to a school where he looks about 4 and all the other kids look like they're pushing 30.
The other kids in my class make fun of me because they say I believe in ghosts.
He's a strange boy who likes reading horror books and visiting creepy graveyards, so for all I know, this is the origin story of R.L. Stine. But when Shorty finds a boy surrounded by freaky ghosts, he makes the same face I did when I found out that the Tooth Fairy wasn't real. The intro for this one is definitely a time capsule. It looks cool, but sounds more like a power ballad from the 90s than the early 2000s. Shaman King, yeah! Shorty tells everyone in school about the weird kid with the ghosts, but nobody believes him. Funnily enough though, the same kid, Yo, turns up as the new kid in school. How convenient.
What's up? You remember me, right?
Sorry.
I had to come up with a plan.
So after Shorty reacts to my review of this show, he visits the graveyard again to try and catch Yo out. But now he runs into what I presume is the villain of the show, a French Elvis? But don't worry, he's very subtle, with truly rich characterization. French Elvis is trying to unleash ancient demon rock and roll or something, but when he spots Shorty, he and his goons beat the stuffing out of him. They really put this poor kid through the ringer, don't they? But Yo feels sorry for Shorty and makes friends with him by tying him to a tree.
No! Why me?
French Elvis turns up again, but this time, Yo unleashes some kind of mystical force to fend off his attack.
If you think Monument Hill belongs to you, then prove it.
Apparently, Yo is a shaman with the ability to summon the powers of ancient masters at will, sort of like a budget avatar. Yo kicks French Elvis back to La Graceland and laughs it up with Shorty. So, who is Yo? Why is he special? Well, I would say find out in the next episode, but this is the only one on the disc, so I guess you'll have to tune into Fox Kids to watch it instead. What's up with this logo though?
Fox Kids, Fox Kids, Fox Kids, Fox Kids. Fox Kids.
I always found this really strange. It's like the channel is trying to brainwash you into watching it. I don't trust it. So that was Shaman King, and it's kind of, I mean, there's some interesting ideas here, but without further episodes to explain more about the story of the characters, I can't really form a proper impression on this one. Most of it just feels a bit random without any context. But if you were a Shaman King fan growing up, write in and let me know why I probably missed out on one of the best shows ever.
Ghosts are cool. Yeah.
Yeah, good video response. Speaking of the best shows ever, next up is Robot Wars, our favourite show where engineering geniuses build radio-controlled robots that smash each other to pieces. This is coming a long time after the episode I reviewed on that old Christmas tape. By this point in time, BBC Two had dumped Robot Wars because they had no sense of taste, and it moved on to Channel 5, who also dubbed the show and sold repeats of its final season to Fox Kids. Strange, right?
Robot Wars, brand new on Fox Kids.
Yeah, it was always pretty weird watching the show on a kids channel, but given how rare it was to find this season on TV, Fox Kids just had me on Saturday nights with this, and they even released a special promo DVD to entice me further. The promo for this one is epic, with Craig Charles monologuing about mangled metal.
The sound of grinding metal, the smell of burning rubber, armour twisted, mangled out of shape, smashed to smithereens.
Makes me hyped just watching it. So this episode comes from deep into the 7th season of the show. This time, 8 robots are fighting for a place in the top 16 at the end of the series. But the first round has them split up into 2 4-way battles, so there's tons of carnage here.
Let the wars begin!
First up is Firestorm, one of my personal favourites, and the star robot here. We also have Daisy Cutter, Bam Bam, which Bam is it, and Black and Blue, which means double trouble, because this one is a cluster bot. What's a cluster bot, I hear you ask? I'll just let the people with brain cells do the talking.
Clusterbot goes in as one robot, they're mechanically coupled at the back, and then when we decide to, we can split apart and got double the trouble.
I'll take your word for it. Now, you'd think 2 heads in the arena would be better than 1, but Firestorm quickly proves that wrong by flipping over Bam Bam and tossing Black and Blue down the pit.
One goes, both go, all together, over and out.
So much for double trouble. In our next melee, we have Reptaron, a big flipper called Ripper with a name that rhymes like a nipper, Zorro, where the team probably spent more on their Halloween costumes than they did on their actual robot, and finally, Agrobot. Grrr. And judging by the deranged outfit this guy is wearing, I'd say he had a run-in with that crazy fangirl from Totally Spies.
What was that?
This one is flipping crazy. Ripper just dominates the whole fight, tossing everyone all over the place. Zorro topples into the pit, and while Agrobot survives to the end, it gets kicked out by the judges for not being aggressive enough.
They've gone for Ripper and Rector on the second!
Notice how the teams who paid more attention to their costumes are always the ones who end up as scrap metal. 4 robots survive, but before they go head to head, we get a special treat. A featherweight final. Yeah, it's not just big robots that get to have all the fun. In this season, there was a special featherweight competition to let teeny tiny robots settle their differences. And this is the big final, with 6 mini robots in the arena all at once. It's pure chaos. Robots are getting tossed everywhere, and they're so small, it's a miracle none of them get squashed. Most of them get dumped down the pit, and one even gets thrown into orbit by the floor flipper.
That's come down with snow on it!
In the end, a little robot called DTK manages to outlast everyone else. A mini version of a heavyweight robot called Danton Kia, but they don't actually get anything for winning.
The winners, Danton Kia!
What, they couldn't make a bite-sized trophy to take home with them? Back to the big bot, and now it's one-on-one right to the end. Firestorm takes on Reptaron, and the young boy on the Reptaron team is truly quaking in fear.
Are you scared? No.
Well, he should be scared. Firestorm flips Reptaron straight over and throws it out of the arena. Just look how solid the driving is. It's one quick, clean kill. I always loved it when bots would get thrown out like this, and you'd get to see all that pointless trash outside the arena. Looks like someone's left their spare tire on the floor though. Also, it turns out the Firestorm team are one lovely couple.
I heard you just got engaged, haven't you?
That's right.
Are there any modifications you're going to make to them?
Robot Wars, the show that brings people together. Meanwhile, Ripper gets rid of Daisy Cutter in, about a tenth of a second.
What happened? I blinked.
This fight is over so quickly, Ripper even has time to take on the house robots, flipping over Refbot, and even Shunt as well.
Ripper through to the heat final. Will we have any robots left to fight in there, representing the house?
This was so late in the show's original lifespan, I think the house robots were running on empty by this point. This sets us up for a great final between Firestorm and Ripper to see who wins the heat. But Firestorm is such a sharp driver, it has no trouble throwing Ripper around and getting it stuck on the arena wall, and since Refbot forgets how to count,
28, 29, 10? He's gone daft.
Firestorm does the deed and pops Ripper out of the arena. I don't think Firestorm even took a scratch in this episode. That's one slick robot.
Brilliant robot, great roboteers. Raise the roof for Firestorm!
So Firestorm wins the heat, and it's sad to think this is one of the last times we'd see it on the show, but fortunately, the team are still married, and the robot still exists as a display piece to this very day. See, the show really does bring people together.
They seem such a lovely couple, but no one ignores the damage they cause on Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
Next up, the real Ghostbusters. Yeah, Fox Kids also aired a lot of older shows from the 80s and 90s as well, mostly in the dead of night, when you could barely keep your eyes open. It was either this or watch reruns of Gadget Boy at 3 in the morning. Those were some long nights of the soul. I have to be honest, the title of the show always drove me crazy. The real Ghostbusters? Wait a minute, the guys in the movies have to be the real Ghostbusters because, well, they're real. It's live action. But these are cartoon characters, so they can't be real. So why would you call it the real Ghostbusters? No wonder this stuff kept me up at night. And yeah, I know there was a title dispute with that other Ghostbusters that nobody talks about, but I had no idea about that at the time. And what's going on with this DVD menu? Was that the only JPEG of Slimer they could find? It's so weird to be in the 80s now, when traditional animation was all dusty and grainy. Gotta love that theme song though. So this episode begins with some lazy slacker reading old comic books.
I loved these things when I was a kid. I mean, look at this.
I didn't know I was in this one, but when his place gets attacked by a crazy monster, the Ghostbusters arrive to crack the case, and I still can't unhear Garfield's voice whenever Venkman is talking.
Excuse me, but is the lady of the house at home?
But there isn't just one monster. It turns out the whole city is crawling with creatures, mascots, and the obligatory Stay Puft cameo. All this weirdness is the work of the Sandman, a ghost who has the power to put people to sleep and make their dreams come to life, and he even has his own 80s theme song.
Hey, great trick. I'll bet you work for Spielberg, don't you?
Never heard of him.
Most of this episode is just a battle between the Ghostbusters and all the nightmare creatures, but when the Sandman starts putting some of them to sleep one by one, we get even more bizarre dream visions, like getting crushed by giant pizza.
I don't know about you guys, but this is getting too silly for me.
Does this mean if the Sandman did this to me, it'd just be raining VHS tapes everywhere? In the end, only Winston is left, but after some touching advice from Einstein, just go with it, he tries to trap the Sandman with the help of Janine.
Uh-oh.
Nighty-night! Don't let the bed bugs bite!
When the Sandman puts her to sleep, she imagines herself as a Ghostbuster, and she helps Winston to zap the Sandman for good, before Slimer busts out the ghost trap.
It's all just a bad dream.
See kids, having a receptionist can be highly useful. The day is saved, but ironically, now it's Winston who finally gets to have some rest. So yeah, not too much to say with this show. All the messed up ghosts and monsters are good fun. They do capture the dynamic of the, real Ghostbusters, and you have to love all that 80s flair. It's just that watching something like this makes me think of being half asleep, zonked out on the sofa with a blanket up to my neck. Those old late night shows will do that to you. Or maybe it's just the Sandman messing around with me. Who knows? Well, there's one more DVD to wake me up again. Power Rangers Wild Force. I was a huge Power Rangers fan growing up, and it was always the main reason I watched Fox Kids. But this was the last season of the show I really kept up with. I think things kind of peaked with Time Force, and even though I had lots of the toys from this one, it didn't quite hit me in the same way. That said, the promo for this show was quite cool, taking us through the whole history of the show, which was surprisingly necessary, given they used to air every season randomly back then. Seriously, you could catch Power Rangers Turbo at 11 o'clock at night. It was bizarre.
They are the next generation. They are Power Rangers Wild Force.
This DVD gives us the first 2 episodes of the show, and we start off with another solid theme, only this is pure early 2000s. Yeah, that's more like it. So the story begins with a guy called Cole, who lives with some kind of naturist group in the middle of the jungle. What kind of place is this? Where is this even supposed to be? Cole spends most of his time swinging across trees and hanging out with the apes. Wow, where have we seen that before? He's even looking for his dead parents, so I would say they could expect a lawsuit from Disney, but around that time, Disney had actually just bought Power Rangers, along with a lot of the Fox Kids library. That's the whole reason Fox Kids slowly turned into Jetix in the first place. It was a hidden transition ploy all along. Okay, so Cole leaves his tribe in insert location here, and rows all the way across the ocean to seek better fortunes in the city. But creepy monsters called Orgs are on the loose, and the Wild Force Power Rangers are 1 ranger short. So after some monkeying around, Tarzan Boy runs into the other Rangers, who give him a very kind welcome.
Sorry, Jungle Boy, you've just been drafted.
I see this girl train with Dulcia as well. The Rangers take Cole to some kind of mystical kingdom in the sky, which, amazingly, no one can see from the surface. How did the Rangers even get up here? Your guess is as good as mine. The place is run by Princess Shayla, who looks like something out of a Barbie movie rather than Power Rangers.
You have been chosen to be leader of the Power Rangers Wild Force.
And if Disney owned the show around this time, does that technically make her a Disney princess? The princess wants Cole to lead the Rangers because he has a pure heart, and he gets introduced to the Zords. This is one of the things I didn't like about this show, because now all the Zords are cheap CGI, rather than the charming practical effects that came before. It's the same problem the movie had. This looks more like Power Rangers on the Nintendo GameCube. Cole agrees to help the Rangers, and since the evil Orgs are causing trouble in the city again, it's morphing time. But for some reason, the morphers are mobile phones, which admittedly made for a great toy as a kid, but why would the Rangers be using a piece of modern day technology in a nature themed show? It's so out of place with everything else. Still, the suits look cool, with the Rangers having claws and animalistic helmets, but since the monsters are too powerful, they have to combine their expensive toys together to blast one of the Orgs to smithereens. The other Org escapes, but he runs into a pair of evil goons called Jindrax and Toxica, who look more like they're dressed for a Shaman King convention.
We have a way to help you.
They help the Org to grow into a huge size, and the Rangers have to call upon their Zords to destroy the Org with a powerful case of minty fresh breath. This leads into the second episode, where Cole is now settling in with the Rangers, but another Org made out of barbed wire is on the loose. I always thought this one was kind of creepy. Something about getting tied up with barbed wire cutting into me used to make me wince. Ugh. But since Cole wants to be non-violent, he tries to hug it out with the Org and get the show cancelled for good.
I just want to talk. Every living thing has a heart. Attack!
Yeah, great strategy. No, the true moral of the story is that when evil monsters are on the loose, just call up your Megazord and blast it into the Shadow Realm. This kind of emotional storytelling just brings a tear to my eye. Jindrax and Toxica aren't pleased that their latest monster has failed them, and they report back to their evil boss, Master Org, who thanks them for their contribution by blasting them with force lightning.
Your master has returned.
To be fair, this looks like a pretty intimidating bad guy. I'm sure this is the type of villain with a chilling amount of depth. Wow, where's Rancic when you need him? Master Org swears revenge on the Rangers, but sadly, this is where the episode ends, so you'll have to go back in time and watch Fox Kids to see more. I'd say this is fairly standard when it comes to Power Rangers. There are some cool monsters, and obviously plenty of great ideas for toys, but it's not my favourite version of the show, and feels a bit dumbed down compared to the other seasons I enjoyed as a kid. I guess that's what happens when Disney takes over and tries to soften everything up. Just to finish off, every DVD also has a big Fox Kids promo at the end of the disc, showing off a lot of the new shows that were on at the time, most of which ended up getting DVDs of their own. There's also this really weird promo where a kid gets sucked into all the shows. This was like a kid fantasy back then. Who wouldn't want to swing around with Spider-Man or fight alongside Jackie Chan? It's like when the channel isn't trying to control you, they're taunting you with impossible visions. Fox Kids was very surreal.
Get into the action with Fox Kids!
Well, that brings us to the end of this special DVD review. We've seen a lot of interesting shows here, and it was nice to take a look back on some old favourites, alongside other shows that I'd never really seen before. This was a curious period of kids' TV, where so much old stuff was mixing it up with the new, and it's still a fascinating time to explore and soak up all that sweet nostalgia. I do have a lot more of these things, but there's only so many you can cover in one video, so I think I'll save the next batch for another time. But which show was your favourite? Do you still have any of these DVDs lying around? And if you want to suggest one of these discs for me to review in the future, let me know in the comments. Thank you for 50 reviews, and look out for even more coming soon.
When you want to be afraid. When you want to see a hero be a real hero. Smooth. When you want to have a real good laugh. It's a more extreme excitement with Fox Kids!